guys, so welcome back to Purely Walking. It's me, Ellie, again, and today I want to talk to you about income. This is part of my series of the cost of living in Dominican Republic. I thought I'd give you today some information regarding the other side. Instead of what you spend, what you can earn. So I read a really interesting article of a really famous university here in the Dominican Republic about the top 10 paid professions here in the DR. So I'm gonna talk to you today about those 10 professions, and I'm gonna talk to you about some other professions that I know you might be interested in, especially if you're coming from out of town into the Dominican Republic. You know English, and these are some professions that you might wanna look into if you're coming over here. So if this is something that interests you, just go ahead and keep on watching. See you on the flip side. Alright, so profession number 10 is accounting. If you are an accountant, you can expect to be highly employed here in the Dominican Republic, according to this study from INTEC. Profession number 9, medicine. Obviously, doctors get a good paycheck here in the DR, especially if you are in the private sector and have your own practice. In the public sector, they don't have such good wages in comparison, but you could also get a decent pay in the public sector if you have any specializations. Profession number 7 is business administration. You know, this field has a lot going for it because it is so wide. You can basically work in any type of business. So people here in this field are highly employable, and they can also specialize in lots of areas to earn good income. Well guys, as I was purely walking, the sun was purely going down. So if you know what I mean, I had no daylight left. So you're gonna see the rest of this video being filmed from my humble abode. So here we go with the next profession, and that is the tourism sector. As you know, the tourism sector is huge here in the Dominican Republic. It's actually one of the biggest sectors that drives our national economy. At least according to this information from INTEC that I have found, it is one of the top 10 paying jobs in the Dominican Republic. In position number 6, we have IT and technology related jobs. That means web developing, software developing, anything related to IT. And I believe that's not only here in the Dominican Republic. That might be a global phenomenon because, as you know, the technology world is growing each and every day. And every day, more and more people are more dependent on technology to do business, to just get around and live their lives in a better, more efficient way. So as you can imagine, IT and tech jobs are really well remunerated here as well. And in position number 5, we have industrial engineering. These are the people that handle value chains in a business, or if there's a factory, they handle the processes, they handle the efficiency and the efficacy of a certain process. So according to this study, industrial engineers are well remunerated, not so much as the civil engineers, which I'll get to in the next portion, but they do okay here in the country as well. And position number 4 is for the civil engineers, which are the guys that are dedicated to building things, be it towers, apartment buildings, the commercial plazas, anything basically being built. These are the guys doing it, or at least commanding the process, and they have good remunerations here in the DR. Actually, as I perceive it, I'm not an expert on this or anything, but as I am viewing it from a bystander's point of view, the business here is booming when it comes to new apartments being built, and the real estate market is very dynamic here. So position number 3 is for the psychologist. This one kind of caught me off guard because psychologists, as I perceive it, they're not really, for the most part, in their own practices. Most psychologists that I've known work in a school environment, so they would be like the psychologist for a school system or for a particular private school. But apparently, according to the study, psychologists have very good salaries here in the Dominican Republic, and that's a good thing. Position number 2 goes to the marketers, specifically digital marketing. You know that market is booming worldwide, so it is as well booming here in the DR. People have digital marketers for any business. If it's a self-made business, an informal business, everybody wants a digital marketer in their lives because that helps them get more clients. And the next position is for the lawyers. So according to this study, lawyers get one of the best salaries in the Dominican Republic. I imagine that lawyers that have their own practices are better off than those that are hired by law firms. So there you have it. These are apparently the top 10 paying jobs here in the DR. Let me know in the comments if you think this study is accurate and what would you think is the highest paying job in the country. Now, I'm gonna get to something interesting because I have 3 more professions to talk to you about if you're coming from out of town, out of state, and of course, since you're watching this video in English, then it might be someone who is bilingual already and can come to the country and do one of these 3 things. The first one is employ yourself in a call center. So here in the DR, especially in Santo Domingo, if you didn't know, there are many call centers for offshore companies. So international companies hire Dominicans that speak good English, or even Americans who come here and live in the country to work at their call centers. And that is a very good option if you are coming to the Dominican Republic. Not only do call center workers have a base salary, they also get bonuses and incentives depending on the campaign and the company they're working for. Another option for a position that you can have if you're coming from out of town to work in the Dominican Republic is obviously translation. So you can work either as an interpreter for a private company for live interpretation, or you can actually translate documents. So if you want to do legal translations, you do have to be certified by our country's authority on that. But if you just want to translate, documents that don't require a legal tenure, then you can do that as a freelance job without having to register at all. And finally, you can come here and work as an English teacher. I'm obviously, as I've been doing, gonna put on the screen how much you can earn being an English teacher. But you have 2 options. You can either teach English in a school or an academy and be hired by them to teach, or you can do a freelance job and do particular English classes for your own students. You can either do it virtually or physically, and this is how much you can earn doing that. Alright, you guys, let me know in the comments what other professions you would like to know about, how much these professions earn here in the DR. I would love to hear from you, so please comment below and also like this video if you're liking this series on cost of living in the Dominican Republic. This is me signing out, and I hope to be actually walking in the next video. I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.